Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me in meditation today on this rainy, lovely day outside. Freshening up our yards, our streets, and everything else. God is so good. I'm Yvonne Fowler, and I'm a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont, and I'm so glad that you've joined us. I picked out one of the daily guides, and one thing that struck me is Ernest Holmes says, the highest mental practice is to listen to this inner voice and to declare its presence. And that's what we do here in meditation. Okay, we actually know that our source is God, and it's within each one of us. And that we may have to listen hard sometimes to know and feel and hear it, but it's there. The solutions to all our problems are right within us. So if you just take some deep breaths and realize that the breath we take is God giving, God sending, God within us. And as it fills us with love in every organ, every cell within us, love. Love is God. And as we breathe it out, we send love throughout the world, because it's the same air that circulates everywhere. So just think on that the greatest sacred tool that we can use is meditation. Listening. And the silence. This daily guide, Jeffron, he says, we search for the proper way to meditate, to clear the mental clutter and find peace. We sit at the feet of masters, seeking proper ways to pray and be in communion with the One, the Divine. We seek. We seek our understanding of God by highlighting passages in the books. I laugh because that's what I do all the time. In search for the compass, pointing in the direction where we might find our highest self. We listen to sermons and inspirational messages from others, thinking that we can just find a few more ideas that connect us. Somehow we'll be freer. We travel to temples, sanctuaries, vortexes, sacred sites, with the idea that being in these places will help us be more in tune with the creative nature of being. Always seeking where the magic lies. Always seeking, and then to find out it's right inside of us. Knowing that the highest mental practice is to listen to the inner voice and to declare its presence. He also says, the only thing that can save me or help me reach a higher level is the transformed me. The magic lies in the transformation of consciousness acquired through the searching. We save ourselves by rediscovering God. And just think about it. The highest mental practice is to listen to this inner voice and to declare the presence. if we open up our hearts and keep them open and know that God, Spirit, universal love is with us all the time, and that we open up to what we hear today. Neil's talk is going to be God is in the gap. So thank you for joining me in meditation today. Our service will start at 10 o'clock.
To the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation and the light is always safe, honoring all our differences, and love will set us free. Oh, oh, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I see the blessings of the past. It's time to requalify. Let's not forget, but learn to forgive. God knows we gotta try. It's my responsibility to heal the wounds in me. Compassion, faith, and hope, and love, and truth will set us free. Oh, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, Lord, I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul.
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you,
Mahalo,
I love you.
aloha,
I'm sorry,
kalamaya,
please forgive me.
kalamaya,
Thank you,
mahalo,
I love you.
aloha,
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry.
kalamaya,
Please forgive me.
kalamaya,
Thank you.
mahalo,
I love you.
aloha,
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I forgive you.
Good morning, everybody. All right, it's time for our Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont Sunday service, and we have a treat today. We are being led by our very own friend, Al Yankee.
Morning. We have the drums. We've got this, would you like to stand up and join me? We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm all life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Yeah, 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 yeah. One more time. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place.
Hey, that song is by Denise Rosier, and I just saw on her Facebook page that she has a new album coming out. So if you're a fan, check it out. Hey, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. My name is Neil Hayner. I'm one of the licensed spiritual practitioners here and a ministerial intern. And so I welcome and I appreciate you guys all coming out on this rainy morning. I know we have lots of friends that are probably at home in their jammies. Everybody wave and say, good morning, jammy people. But I'm glad that you're here, and if you're here online, that's great too. Type in the chat, let us know that you're here for the first time. If this is your first time here at Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont, Please know that you are welcome here, no matter where you happen to be in life and what you're feeling this morning. If this is your first time here and you'd like to know a little bit more about us, we have some blue packets in the back. Feel free to grab one on your way out, and there's no pressure. So if you are here online for the first time, you should chat and let us know that you're here. If you have any questions, I'm sure our media techs will be happy to answer them, and we're just glad that you're here. Let's start off by reading our vision statement together. Oh, yes, I was going to mention a very important fact this morning. Hey, you guys might not know this, but we're celebrating a very important birthday this morning. It is Ernest Holmes' birthday today. Just happens to land on a Sunday. I happened to notice this morning. He was born in 1887, which would make him 137 years old today. So there's for longevity. In case you don't know who Ernest Holmes is, Ernest Holmes was the man who synthesized all of the spiritual philosophies and wrote the book called Science of Mind, on which our philosophy is based and how it got started. And we're sending him happy birthday vibes this morning. So I'm going to light the candle in honor. I don't know if Ernest Holmes is going to blow it out and make a wish, but I'm going to light the honor in his honor this morning. And just recognizing that we are all gathered here today because of his work. So that is awesome. All right, so back to us. Let's read our vision statement together, declaring who we are this morning. CSLB is an inclusive and transformative community of spiritual practice.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yvonne, and I just want you to make sure you turn off your cell phones because God can call us later, okay? So a reminder that we will be over here, the practitioners will be over here on this side of the sanctuary for a 2-minute miracle, a prayer, a short prayer if you're interested. If you have anything on your mind that we'd like you to not leave here with that. Just come over and talk to one of us and see if we can hold a spiritual space for you. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's see. I'm also going to to do the announcements. So they up there. We've had the grief support group meeting twice already this month, and it's been held here in the sanctuary, and that's at 1 o'clock, and it's on Thursdays, and it's a group to open up. The group is open up to everyone. If you have any friends or relatives that you think might benefit, bring them along. So that's for an hour and a half. 1 to 2:30 on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. And we've had, like I said, 2 different groups, and it's not the same people all the time. It's just when you can come and when you want to come and just hear the discussion group and participate in it, okay? And we're going to start the metaphysical movie and a meal in February, so that's going to be on February 14th. A spaghetti dinner will be served, and the movie will be Field of Dreams in February. So this will be a there will be a discussion following the movie. This will be a monthly event on the second Wednesday of every month, so mark your calendars. And apparently, I haven't seen the Field of Dream in a long time, but it's a very metaphysical film, and we'll be talking about it. So please come for dinner and the movie.
And don't forget, if you build a dinner, they will come.
And just for information, we will be asking for a donation. No specific amount of money, but we'll have a donation kit there, okay? And then there's a new class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. This is an accredited class starting on Saturday, February 17th from 10 to 1 p.m., and it'll be taught by Adrian Madden. The class tuition is $100, $10 for supplies, and $45 for registration. The sign-up sheet is going to be posted right over here, so if you're interested, please let us know, okay? And
And
then,
hold on, as an aside, there's no book needed. That means there's not a whole lot of homework.
and the last message that I have here is for the qualifications of the board. You all know that in February we had our annual meeting, and that's where we nominate people that are qualified to be on the board. And those qualifications are complete and enrolled in a foundation class or the equivalent, okay? Be a member of the church for 6 months or more. 6 months is okay. Willing to accept the responsibilities of the board of trustees, and you can't be a relative or a live-in relationship or be employed by the church to be on the board, okay? So no trustee may receive compensation for the board. So it's a volunteer position, and we do want you to let us know if you're interested in being on the board. Thank you.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me, I open my eyes to see there is only love, only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I go inside and quiet my mind and hear Spirit gently say, there is only love, only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. Only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only
There's only love in our sanctuary. This is our house, our sacred home, besides what's in our heart. I always feel the love, the wisdom, the peace, the harmony, the joy when I come here. And I know that we all know that it's the inspiration of God that's within us. So just take a deep breath and center yourself. We're gathered here in this spiritual home to receive our spiritual sustenance. I recognize that Spirit the presence and the power is right here in this very room. It's God. God is here. God is all there is. God is everywhere present. God is our guiding light. We are one with God, and in this unity, I know and trust the Spirit presence fills this room with the love, the joy, the wisdom, the peace, the harmony, and the grace. I bless this congregation, in person and on Zoom, who share the energy and the consciousness with us. I bless the media technicians as the service unfolds with ease and grace. For the musicians who enhance our voice and words enhance our service. And I bless Neil as he is the vessel which Spirit sends its message, knowing that this house is filled with love, with guidance, as we go forward, and so it is.
So this song I wrote many years ago at this point, with I believe, a timeless message. Be it peace, be it peace, be it peace, be it peace. Take a breath and sing that with me. Be it peace, be it peace. With that soft voice like you're singing to a child. Be it peace, be it peace, be it peace. When your path seems filled with obstacles and your days seem filled with pain, when it seems that no one's listening to you, when your mission seems impossible and you're blown by winds of change, let that small inner voice come through. Be at peace, you're all right, you're just fine, you're perfect, you're divine. Be at peace, you're all thoughts, you're all things, you're the universal mind. Be at peace, you're the spirit of an eagle, you're the sighing of a dove. Be at peace, at the center of creation, in everlasting love. Other people seem insensitive with their words and attitudes, giving voice to things that you just can't believe. But imagine for a moment that you're walking in their shoes. Bless their path, call it good, let them be. Be at peace, they're all right, they're just fine, they're perfect, they're divine. Be at peace, they're all thoughts, they're all things, they're the universal mind. Be at peace, they're the spirit of an eagle, they're the sighing of a dove. Be at peace, at the center of creation, in everlasting love. Be at peace, be at peace, be at peace, be at peace, be at peace. In the humdrum, tumble, jumbling of our dizzy, busy days, we experience anxieties and doubts. Will they see my imperfections? Will they think that I'm okay? Well, don't despair. Breathe in, breathe out. Say this to yourself. Be at peace, I'm all right, I'm just fine, I'm perfect, I'm divine. Be at peace, I'm all thoughts, I'm all things, I'm the universal mind. Be at peace, I'm the spirit of an eagle, I'm the sighing of a dove. Be at peace, at the center of creation, in everlasting love. In everlasting love.
All right. Well, good morning again, and I like to start off with a joke. Get you laughing. Ready? A reporter was interviewing someone on the streets. You know how they do when they have to ask someone's opinion on camera. And so this reporter asked this person, he said, what do you think is the biggest problem in America today? Uncertainty or indifference? And the man answered, I don't know, and I don't care. So my talk title this morning is God is in the Gap. And what I want you to know is that this title came to me. I was doing some New Year's visioning. And you get to that point in visioning where you ask, is there anything else? And what I clearly heard was God is in the gap. And that was a couple of weeks ago. So I've been sitting with this idea of what does it mean that God is in the gap? What is a gap experience? I think the gap is a lot of things. It can be loss. When you lose something or somebody important to you and you're going through that grieving process. It can be times of great change. Maybe even something new that you haven't quite gotten used to yet. It's that space between what we know and what we don't know. Sometimes it's that space where we say, I don't know, and I don't care. It's that space between who we used to be and who we're becoming. That's the gap. It's that space between what we know and what we don't know. It's that space when we treat for something or we're doing prayer for something and it hasn't quite shown up yet, or it doesn't show up the way that we think it should. The space, the gap, is that space when we have that feeling of not knowing. We have that feeling of not seeing. We feel maybe a little groundless, like the ground is a little unsteady under our feet. It can feel like waiting. It can feel like wandering. I think that we all have had that experience or are having that experience right now in some area of our life. This is not a new thing. This is part of the human experience, having these gaps in our life. Even way back in the Old Testament times, when the Israelis were wandering around in the desert for 40 years. Hopefully our gap experience doesn't last that long. But I think that we've all been there either now in some area of our life or have been through that in our life. The Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron says the mind is always seeking zones of safety, and these zones of safety are continually falling apart. We're always looking for that safe ground where we feel like we're steady, where things are just in routine, where we feel safe. But that's not the nature of life. Things are always changing. And so those safety zones are always falling apart. She says the root of suffering is resisting the certainty that no matter what the circumstances, uncertainty is all we truly have. Every day can be a gap moment for us. Something new is going to unfold today. We don't exactly know where this new year is going to go or this new day. That can feel a little unsettling and uncertain. For me, I have spent the last year working and going to school and taking care of grandparents. And suddenly, I don't have most of those things anymore. And so I'm going through that experience of having a gap. Suddenly, I have all this time and energy I'm not quite sure what to do with. Sometimes it can feel like when you finish a big project and you get to a point of completion and you say, like, now what? Now what do I do with my life? Maybe that's like retirement. For me, it was, I spent 25 years looking for my birth parents. And I would spend probably 2, 3, sometimes 12 hours a week on Ancestry or doing research and doing things to try to find my birth parents. I started that when I was 21. It took me 25 years. But I finally got to the point where I knew who my birth mother was and I knew who my birth father was, and I was complete. And I thought, well, now what do I do all that time? I had just reached that point of completion with that project, and suddenly that thing that had been all-consuming in my life was suddenly done. That's the gap. And the gaps have lots of gifts. And some of those gifts maybe aren't quite as apparent, because in the gap, we're always having that experience of discomfort or unease. But the gap can also have some gifts. The first one is gratitude. The first one is gratitude. When we reach those gap points in our lives, we finally have the energy and time to reflect on what got us to this moment. And we can be grateful for everything that brought us up to this point. Even though it might feel discomforting right now, or a little uncertain, or a little fearful right now, we can be grateful. The second one is attention. A lot of times when we're busy with that project, or we're busy working, or we're going through an experience and then it stops, we finally have the bandwidth and the attention to maybe pay attention to some things that we weren't paying attention to before. For me, it's been self-care. Getting caught up on all those things that I've been putting off. And the third gift is potential. When we go to those moments in our lives, those gap moments in our lives, suddenly we have this sense of freedom. That life could be anything, that we could go in a new direction, that we now have the time and the space and the energy to do something that we've never done before. Sometimes these gifts of the gap are so powerful that we want to create them on purpose. Wait, what? Why do we want to create them on purpose? Having those gap experiences gives us time, it gives us space, it gives us perspective. It's time to breathe. Maybe it's time to shift that energy into something new that we've never done before. This happens a little bit for me every year because I'm a teacher and I work, and I'm crazy busy all year long, and then suddenly the last day of school arrives and I'm done. And I go, well, now what? Now I have the summer. What am I going to do with myself? right? I'm going 90 miles an hour and suddenly it stops. And I have the energy to maybe pay attention to myself a little bit more. I have the energy and time to pay attention to my spiritual practice, to maybe go a little deeper with things that I haven't had the energy or time to do. In fact, meditation is kind of like a gap. We intentionally set the time to sit and be still and in the silence to create a gap, to create that space and the silence in our lives, to pay attention to that still small voice. Sometimes we create gaps on purpose. Sometimes you can create a gap just by taking a moment to be silent in your day, turning off the TV, turning off the music, and just creating that gap space to be still. But for a lot of us, the gap is a pretty uncomfortable place to be. So how do we get through the gap? The first step to getting through these awkward, uncomfortable places in our lives is to go with the flow. That means you're taking one day at a time, one thing at a time. It takes time to adjust to having new energy and new space and new time in your life. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. The second step is authenticity. That means don't be afraid to acknowledge when you're having a challenge with the gap. I've had several people come and talk to me lately about my experiences, and I say, well, I'm in transition. I don't always do transitions well, up until now. But it's that opportunity to be authentic and say, you know what, I'm going through a transition in my life right now, and it feels a little awkward, but it'll get better. Brene Brown says, instead of begging everyone in your address book for answers, ask one or two loved ones to remind you that it's normal to feel vulnerable when you're in a period of change. She says, as my husband often tells me, it's supposed to suck right now. Go for a walk. Uncertainty is a necessary part of getting where we want to go. Uncertainty is a necessary part of getting to where we want to go. Which brings me to the third step, which is patience. Sometimes that's the only way through. You just have to be patient. The good news is that everything changes. The bad news is that everything changes. But if we're patient, things will shift. That sense of normality will come back. You just have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the process. And our day and our time, being patient with process is probably not our strongest thing. Have you noticed? Being patient with the process. I've been in the process of getting my student loans forgiven. If you've been watching the news, you know that's quite a process. And it's like 90 days to wait for this form, and 90 days to wait for that form, and 90 days to wait for this thing, and it's a process. And let me tell you, it's hard to be patient. We're kind of programmed these days that patience is not always a virtue anymore, right? We want everything instantaneously. But when you're in these gap moments, sometimes the only thing you can do is simply be patient. Patient with yourself, patient with the process. The writer Rainier Maria Rilke, I'm going to say his name wrong, Rilke, yes. He says, be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves, like locked doors and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not seek the answers, which cannot be given to you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. He says, live into the answer. Live into the answer. Live into the question. Be patient with the things that are feeling unsolved in your life. It's kind of like when we order something from Amazon and we know it's coming and we just can't wait for it to get here. Have to be patient. That thing in your life that you've been praying for, that you've been holding the space for, or that has suddenly come into your life isn't ready for you yet. Maybe you're not ready for it. And so that gap space allows us the space and the time to get ready for the new thing that's coming into our life. I heard this quote, I don't know where I got this from, but I've been really sitting on it for a while. And somebody told me this, or I heard it somewhere. The challenges that we face in the future will be faced by our future selves. Trust your future self will be able to handle whatever happens. The challenges that we will face in the future will be faced by our future selves. We have to trust that when that challenge appears, our future self will be ready. Maybe we're not ready for it yet. Maybe in the Bible, the Israelites had that entire wilderness experience not as a punishment, but simply because they weren't ready for the next thing. And they needed that time and that space to make themselves ready. The fear, the uncertainty, the uncomfortableness that we feel in that gap has a lot to do with some having excess energy. We had all our energy in one direction, and then suddenly we have all this extra energy that we don't know what to do with. One unskillful way that we often try to deal with that groundlessness, that feeling of shaky ground beneath us, is to try to distract ourselves. We fill up our lives with whatever it is, our favorite thing that we like to do, that takes our mind off the fact that we're feeling uncomfortable. We fill in the gap with whatever we think will keep our mind off that feeling of discomfort. Sometimes when that feeling of gapness gets so overwhelming, we might turn to addictions to try to fill the gap. But that is not only unskillful, it's usually unhealthy. And the truth is that the discomfort, that feeling of groundlessness is still there. And it will come back the minute you stop distracting yourself. Have you noticed? So the gap experience can also be a spiritual challenge. It's time to lean in to our spiritual practice. Because fear and uncertainty and doubt are really just a feeling of separation from God. Because if God is all there is, and God is love, and God is infinite intelligence, then right where we are, God is. God is going before us, behind us, to the side of us, above us, below us, to guide us, to protect us. It is that infinite source that is always available to us. The gap is a gift. And we can use those gap moments in our lives to go within, to remind ourselves that we are guided, protected, directed, and inspired by the power behind everything in the cosmos. God is in the gap with you. In fact, God is the gap. God is in the gap. God is the gap. When we are feeling disconnected from the world, that means it's time to reconnect with spirit. We consciously take time to walk, to journal, to vision, to ask, what is next? What am I being guided to remember in this moment? What have I not been paying attention to that I now have time and energy to pay attention to? Joel Goldsmith writes, "Never look upon the discords and inharmonies of your life as if they represented a lack of understanding or a lack of demonstration. Regard these unfortuitous circumstances as opportunities which will be dissolved when they no longer serve their purpose to spur your spiritual unfoldment. These moments will be dissolved when they no longer serve their purpose for your spiritual unfoldment." There's a reason that the gap experience comes into your life. Even the discomfort of the gap is for our good. It is an opportunity to change direction, to re-examine our priorities and our values. It is an opportunity to turn our attention from the outside world and go within. This is my favorite Ernest Holmes quote in honor of his birthday. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to place your hand over your heart. Because I know in this moment that we have all experienced or are experiencing that feeling of discomfort somewhere in our life. That gap moment, the space between what is known and what is unknown. And Ernest Holmes says this affirmation: "I live in the faith that there is a presence and power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I could not even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing and all-power and is always right where I am." Let's say that again. If you didn't join us the first time, join in this time. "I live in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I could not even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing and all-power and is always right where I am." How does that feel? What if when we're feeling those gap moments in our lives, we take that opportunity to know that there is a power and a presence that is always right with us, even in the gap? If you're familiar with the story of the Israelites and their wandering in the desert, then you know that they were never alone. They were guided by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire at night. God even sent down manna to eat every day for them to eat. But when we tap into that presence and power that is greater than we are, and that is always there waiting on our conscious recognition of it, we remember that no matter what gap we're in, whether that's loss or times of great change or newness that we haven't adjusted to, or a space in our life of not knowing, we know that we are being guided toward our good. That even in the middle of that feeling of loss, disconnection, and discomfort, it will dissolve when it has served its purpose. So this week, and maybe in your conversations in Carter Hall today, I invite you to take a look around your life and look and see if there's any place in your life where you feel that you might be in the gap. And take the opportunity to reconnect with Spirit. Be curious and expectant. Expect good. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself to be guided. Because God is in the gap. And that leads me to the last way that we look at the gap. And that is that God always provides. And so it is. So I invite the practitioners that are here this morning to join me in that atmosphere of prayer. And so we enter into that conscious awareness of spirits. That conscious awareness that we know that there is a power and a presence greater than we are, that supports us in ways that we might not even be able to imagine. It is that power, that principle, that presence which we call God. Spirit, creative intelligence, order, balance, peace, joy, love. Whatever name that you are giving it this morning, simply take this opportunity to become consciously aware and connected to the divine. Because spirit is all that there is. It is who and what you are. At every cell of your body, every fiber of your being, every spark of life within you is a spark of the divine. And so we simply know this morning that we live and move and have our being in that power, in that presence, in that principle, and it is supporting us in ways that we may not even be aware of. Wherever you are this morning, whether in the gap or not, I speak my word for you this morning, knowing that God is right where you are. And if you're in that gap experience this morning, I know that God is in the gap with you. That wherever there feels like a lack or a limitation or a wondering or a doubt or a fear, that Spirit is right there with you. As love, as joy, as wisdom, guiding and protecting you, supporting you in infinite numbers of ways. I accept this truth, I accept that love, I accept that guidance. I open out a way for Spirit to flow in and through and as me, and I invite you to do the same. And so in great gratitude, I simply give thanks for this presence, this knowing, this principle, and this teaching. For Ernest Holmes himself that brought us this spiritual tradition and the power of affirmative prayer. And I release this word into that law that always says yes, that mirror that reflects back to it everything that has been placed into it, fully, completely, and in harmony. I accept it just as it is, and I invite you to do the same by simply saying, and so it is.
So God is all there is, and also God is love. Love is all there is. And love is the person sitting right next to you. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. And lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love, we come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize a God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together in the name of love.
From every walk of life, every creed and color, kinship we unite. In honor of the love in each other, take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love.
And that is that time in our service where we get to practice the spiritual practice of joyful giving, knowing that God always provides. If you are online, you can always go to our website at cslbeaumont.org and click the donate button. And if you have your cell phone, there will be a number up on the screen, 951-420-6909. All you have to do is text the word give. If you've set it up before, you can say give and the amount. If you've never done that before, you can just type in give and it will walk you through the steps to set it up. And then you can save it in your phone and do it whenever you have unexpected good. If you give online or you do not have a gift to give today, just bless the offering basket as it passes by. And as I ask the ushers to come forward, we will repeat our abundance affirmation with lots of joy and enthusiasm. We know and declare, I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
And now as we close out our service, we have a tradition of standing and circling up, and I think we have a closing song. And at the end of that song, we will have a little brief benediction. I've heard that there is some chili challenge going on in the Carter Hall. There's 2 different kinds of chili, and apparently the winner gets bragging rights. So you have to try out both chilies and find out which one is your favorite. And a lot of other things to go with the chili. So join us back there and vote for your favorite.
I am a light in this world.
place our hand over our heart, repeat after me. There's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in all my affairs. I live it. I accept it. And I give it away. Every moment of my life. And so it is. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good, 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 good.
Grateful for your tenderness. Life can feel